Yada 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 da. Hey yo, check it. This is Podrey, and depending on what I title this, I hope that you find it interesting. Hope you find this video to be interesting. Yes, it's a somewhat reaction video, but it's more or less of a reminder. It's more or less like an affirmation. If I remember the definition, fuck it. Let me use a word that's English. The video that I'm going to talk about is affirming the ideas that I have talked about when it comes down to building communities. And I've seen that that people have had communities before, and it's either grown or it's been destroyed. But regardless, it had to start from somewhere, and it existed. Communities have existed, private communities or whatever. I came across this video about maybe 3-4 days ago, and as you see, I'm like almost done with the video. What I like about what they're talking about is that it does pretty much agree with all the things that I have talked about when it comes down to the infrastructure of a community, or starting a community from scratch, or the reason to having a community. But this video right here goes into a lot more detail because they're actually going through the experience. Now, this video is 2 years old, mind you. So if you really want to do your research after you watch this video, look up the town, look up the community title, the name of the community that they're trying to work on, and get an update. You know what I'm saying? So far, another thing that I like is that the only time they talked about anything religious is when they were talking about one of the ways that they're going to make money is by having like get-togethers, like fundraisers, getting talented people to entertain other people. And the only time they mentioned anything religious was that they had a couple of people from a couple of churches that had good singing voices to entertain other people with. So far they have not mentioned, building a church, or they have not mentioned, the whole God gave me an idea, or we're following God's will type shit. You know what I'm saying? So I like that part of the video. As far as the video's going so far, this is 2023, and we gotta unthink the bullshit that we were taught. It's kind of like saying that The old fucking the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and the 13 Articles, the whole infrastructure of what government is, it needs to be updated, upgraded. You know what I mean? We're not colonial people anymore. You know what I mean? So, I had ran across another video. It was like 19. Hold on, give me 1 second. Okay, it was this video right here. Black towns. Hold on, let me get off. Oops. Black towns that were flooded. Alright? And the reason why I didn't click on that video, as you can see right here, that, with that red line, you know what I'm saying, that red line at the bottom of that video lets you know that I watched the video, alright? It reminds me that I watched the video. But there are other videos that are on this topic of there were communities that were just basically erased. You know what I'm saying? Friggin' throughout racism and the problems that we have with jealousy and whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? It's like these towns were thriving, these towns were self-made, and somebody came around and decided that they didn't want those towns there anymore, and it's like, yo. So anyway, as I was watching that video, it just reminded me that each time that I talk about these communities, it's like we have to make sure that whenever you're going to create a community, you have to be careful of the government. You got to be careful of city and state ordinance, or just rules, laws, loopholes, dealing with people who come together. You had the Columbine. Those folks had land, had property, but yet, it's the fact that they thought they had the freedom to practice, their own religion, their own, whatever, and the feds came and busted it, and and it was a terrible story. From what I'm talking about when I talk about community, I don't just talk about it from an all melanated society. I do believe that there's an upper class and a lower class. There used to be a middle class, but I don't believe that's there anymore. You either have it or you don't. You either have enough money to live comfortably, or you don't. It's no other way of looking at it for me. And so, it doesn't matter what a person's color is. When you think about community, you think about safety. You think about a place where your kids can go out and play, and you don't have to be so worried that they're going to get killed within that community. It's like when I was younger, I was able to wake up in the morning, take care of my hygiene, get something to eat, take care of my chores, and get the fuck out the house. come back every now and then to check in. But other than that, you know what I'm saying? Stayed out till it was close for the, street lights to turn on. You know what I'm saying? There was, I had to at least let my parents know the roundabout area that I would be in. But other than that, my parent didn't have to worry about me like we have to worry about kids now. I got into my little dirt, but my dirt never followed me back home. You know what I'm saying? The kids that from my generation to the kids of this generation are totally two different breeds. And I can't say that for every kid, because we do have some kids that are going to be productive adults, but it's hard to tell because the news only want us to see the fucked up side of what's going on with our kids. But on top of that, there's a lot of fucked up things happening to our kids that the news do tell us about as well. I remember a story of a kid that had to use the bathroom, told his teacher. Teacher made him wait. He ended up using the bathroom on himself. Teacher ended up calling his parent. But by that time, he had already had some words with the teacher, because it's like, basically, you disrespect the authority of, or the responsibility of allowing a child to use the bathroom to where that child uses the bathroom on himself. You know what I'm saying? If the child is old enough to know that I need to go use the bathroom, they're not in diapers, you know what I'm saying? Then no matter what, that child should be able to go relieve himself. But when that parent was sitting there listening to the story, the parent basically chastised the kid in front of the teachers and the police and everybody. So it's like, that was a fucked up move. You know what I'm saying? How can that parent strengthen that child's inner strength that he already had if she just fucked it off? You know what I'm saying? That was her moment to have her child back, and it didn't happen. And then it goes national. Well, you want to live in a community where that doesn't happen. And when it comes down to this video right here, what I like, another thing that I like about it, is they talk about, you get with people who are on the same page that you are on. You know what I'm saying? They want a predominantly melanated community. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. And when they outsource to look for other assets that they may need, they're looking for melanated people who have stuff. But there's no insurance companies that are ran by melanated people. You know what I mean? There's banks, but come on now. I personally learned that you don't need credit to fucking live and get what you want. As a matter of fact, I learned that, credit, or trying to have a good credit or whatever, is just another way of, I'm trying to choose the right words, another way of making making me um, another way of making me do what they want me to do. Now, if I'm a grown-ass man and I want to be independent of people, if I want to be freed of people who want to make me do something, then credit is not the way that I want to purchase things, or credit is not something that I don't even want to think about. You know what I mean? Because credit basically is a way of owing somebody something. You know what I mean? It's like, loans are a way of owing somebody something. So I used to have the idea that, man, if I want something, then I need to work for the money. I also need to save that money up to buy whatever the fuck I want to buy. And I need to have money that's saved up in order to fix anything that's broken. You know what I'm saying? Anything that I own that gets broken, I need to have that money saved up to afford to fix it. You know what I'm saying? Also, I need to have the education in order to fix my own problems. If I have a plumbing problem, then I need to go pick up a book and learn how to fix it instead of calling a plumber. You know what I'm saying? If it's something dealing with my septic tank, I need to go pick up a book, you know what I'm saying, and learn how to fix my own shit. So when I think about communities and the bare bones of it all, it takes a lot of fucking knowledge, a lot of research, and it also takes, it takes a team. I would say you do need a team, because there's questions that we may not ask that are important, and we may not think of those questions right when we need to. You know what I'm saying? So while I'm going through the planning process with my team, someone on my team can help back me up a lot more by having questions and answers that I hadn't thought about. So I'm not going to try to make this a long video. It's just, I get motivated and I get inspired when I see people wanting to be freed from city-state assistance. And I would like to see a full, complete package, meaning someone or some folks who create something out of nothing without asking for assistance. You know what I'm saying? They basically, like I said, they had their books, they had their knowledge, they had their backup plans. You know what I'm saying? It's like playing chess where you think 3 or 4 steps ahead. And they do this without having the government on their necks. It's just, I feel it in my bones that it could be done, but I just want to see it happen. I really want to fucking see it happen. And when I think about, the history of melanated people who had businesses, who had communities, and they did it, It's just the point that it's been done before, and I believe it can still be done, period. And it's like, man, want to see people doing a lot better for themselves. I want to see people bringing back what we used to have, but we're in technical, in a technical world, so it has to be more advanced. And I'm just like, yo, man, we can do it. Somebody can do it. Folks can do it. You know, you hear Akon and several other African celebrities who have come to America, made their money, gone back to Africa, and done something with it. I haven't done my research on enough Americans who have taken their money and done something like that here in America. You know, I constantly think about Tyler Perry and how Tyler Perry bought all that land and is just using it for like a studio. I'm like, man, people can be living in those homes. People can be working in those studios, those buildings that you might use as a studio or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, when we think about carbon footprints, when we think about going green, you know, when we think about, you know, geological ideas and how to build something that's going to be good for our Earth, you know, our planet. It's like, man, that should be where we're heading to. You know, our country don't give a fuck about that. They send so much money to other countries. And it's like, man, we got issues here. So what the fuck? That money that you're sending over there can help a community, you know what I'm saying, start from scratch. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I know grants, you don't have to pay back a grant, but still, it's like, man, there's so much that some people can do if they are on the same thought pattern, if they put in the work, you know what I'm saying, and if they know the people that they're actually doing this with, so there's no sabotaging. You know, it's like, I know that a lot of things that have happened in history, a lot of the bad things came from, like when something didn't work, you know, somebody that was on the inside of that group, they sabotaged everything. And whatever they were doing came to an end. And it's fucked up. You know, I know it's not just a melanated thing. Everybody who claims all these different ethnicities, they have also gone through the same issues. And it's like, yo, when you listen to the stories and you hear the similarities, and when you think that, well, fuck, man, all our DNA come from Africa anyway, it's like, man, we're stuck in a cloud of ignorance, and we want to be divided so badly, and it's fucked up. It's really fucked up. I remember the other day on the news, they was talking about the royal family over there. And I'm like, who gives a fuck about that royal family over there. Obviously, a lot of people do. But I'm thinking to myself, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's like shit. People escaped from that country because they didn't want nothing to do with their rules and their state of mind, their state of being. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, who gives a fuck, man? But, like I say, you have folks who have it to where they are living very well. They don't need for anything. They just want to keep collecting and growing, you know what I'm saying, their net worth. And then you have folks who don't have that surplus, that money to be as comfortable as they want to be, no matter what the race is, no matter what the gender is. But it's like, in both tax brackets, you know what I'm saying, the people who have some shit, they still got people who are demonic, you know what I'm saying, do just stupid, evil shit within those lifestyles as well. And then you got people that, you know, are in the minorities that do the same fucking thing, and it's like, man, no matter how much I dislike the news, I know that something is happening every day. On both levels of the balance. There's something good happening every day, and there's something bad happening every day. There's so much shit going on that it can't be covered on the news every day. You know, there's not enough news channels to cover this shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, I want to say, you know, cover everything or don't cover nothing at all type shit, because, you know, when it comes down to me, they're talking about shit that I'm not even interested in. But at the same time, things that I'm interested in, you know, they wouldn't want to talk about it, or other people wouldn't want to know about it or hear about it. So I understand when it comes down to people wanting to be comfortable in their own community, it's going to take a lot of hard work. And I know you can't just put your trust in everybody, because it's just in our DNA to be fucked up people. May not be now, but it might be 10 years down the line. You know what I'm saying? Something might happen in our lives to make us click, and we end up doing some fucked up shit. You know what I mean? It's like someone puts a gun to your child's head and say, do this or I'll kill your child. And you're most definitely going to do what they want to do to save your child. You know what I'm saying? So it's some crazy shit, man. Like I said, I would love to see some folks put together a decent community that's really thriving on their own. And I don't want to put any type of ill thoughts on it. It's just point blank, I really want to see that happen. And it would be great, you know what I'm saying, to really see that happen. Only thing I could get out of it is, you know, a peace of mind. And I will hope that more people would, you know, follow that lead and Let's free ourselves from this government, because when it comes down to it, they've shown themselves and they've shown their cards over and over and over and over and over that they don't give a fuck about us. What may be news one day is not talked about a day or two past that. But we don't forget about it. It's just there's so much shit going on that they try to get the best ratings that they can, so they move on. And that ain't right. It ain't right. But within your own community, when you got a peace of mind in your own community, you know what I'm saying, you can close your life off of the rest of society, of this country. You know what I'm saying? You can be in your own little world. It's like North Korea. I'm not mad at them as far as, nah, fuck that. I can't use them as an example for shit, because I think it's fucked up to make the people only believe what you want them to believe, and you're stopping them from seeing what's going on in the world, because there's a lot of beautiful things going on in the world. So yeah, fuck them. But when you're comfortable in your own space, you tend to only entertain yourself with the things that you know that's going to bring you joy. If you're ignorant towards what else is going on in the world, you tend to feel like you're not missing out on shit, because it's not going to affect you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to end this video here, and I'm gonna hit you with my disclaimer. I'm not the smartest person in the world, and I'm not the dumbest person either. I've done my research on some things, and there's a lot of things out there that I can still do my research on, but I don't trust the information that's out there, because there's a lot of people out there trying to steer us in the wrong direction, and it's like clickbait. You know what I'm saying? They might make a topic look good, and they might use words that sound good, but the underlying truth is that it's not good for you. But I need you to question everything that I'm talking about, and I need you to still try to do as much information, research as much information that you can, and keep an open mind, and form your own opinion, and then share your opinion with other people. That's the one most important part. So when you share your opinion, you end up finding folks who might have been thinking about the same thing that you were thinking about, but they didn't have anybody to talk to. So I'm going to get out of here. This is Podrey, and this video is called 19 Black Families Purchase 97 Acres to Build a Community. When I end this video, I'm going to end up finishing the video, like while I'm editing this. So it's on a channel called Earn Your Leisure, and YouTube, there's a lot of videos on YouTube, so when you want to find other information, use the search words that'll bring you the information that you're looking for. They say try again if you don't get it the first time. So it's like, it's like so many things are interesting. There's so many things that are interesting, when it comes down to life. And YouTube happens to be a great platform where people have put this information out there, so people like me, and hopefully people like you, can get this information and try to do something with it and try to share it with other people. You know what I mean? So, I want you to have a good day. I want you to have a good morning. I want you to have a good night. Peace.